Sol has outperformed pretty much every other major, including ETH, including Bitcoin. As more funding comes back into the ecosystem, as the price goes up, this wealth effect happens. We're hoping to see more earning opportunities that can onboard really top-level talent. Half of the projects credited Superteam with helping them develop, which is awesome for us as well. The content game on Solana is really starting to increase and get better. These hackathons act as a beacon in a stormy bear market. Something like $600 million has been raised by these hackathon teams.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Next Billion podcast. And we have a favorite of the podcast. In fact, I thought he was dead most of the last few weeks. Maybe he was, and he's come back to life. But I mean, we've got Kash here in the person with us, and he's recovering from various sickness and ailments just in time for everyone, all of the Solana manlets to go to Amsterdam. It's going to be great. Kash, it's great to have you on again today.
Please refer to me as Lazarus. That's my new name going forward after all this illness. Yeah. Thanks for having me, George. Pleasure to be back.
Yeah, you're alive and kicking. You're doing all right. Maybe the bull market woke you up, perhaps. Is that what was going on?
I think so. Yeah, not being completely broke and only being slightly broke is a much better thing. It revived me for sure.
Well, we should maybe mention a little bit about that. So numbers gone up a little bit since we last spoke. Is this changing anything in the ecosystem in your mind? It seems like there's a lot of hype and activity, perhaps.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. So, of course, the Bitcoin was the first one to move, as usual, due to the Bitcoin ETF, or one of the Bitcoin ETFs potentially getting listed on the DTCC website. And then it seems as if that triggered a bit of a short squeeze across a bunch of different assets from people who are wrongly allocated. But it's been really fun to watch Solana kind of outperform. Let me be very clear to the viewers at home. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to trading. I'm a terrible trader. I don't listen to me on price ever. But
oh, really? I say the opposite. I say, this is financial advice. This is legal advice. This is literally everything advice. And well, hey, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. But no, that disclaimer, this is not financial advice, and do your own research and all that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah. But it has been fun to see Sol outperform. So I think if you look at all of the majors this year, Sol has outperformed all of them. And in the recent little run-up that we've had over the past week or so at the time of recording, Sol also outperforming pretty much every other major, including ETH, including Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So I think that over the course of the bear market, a lot of attention has kind of slowly been flowing into Solana. And it seems like now it's really starting to take off in an interesting way. So it's fun. The vibes on Solana were good even when the token was kind of dead, quite frankly. But it doesn't hurt that everyone's got a little bit of extra change in their back pocket. So perfectly timed going into Breakpoint, I think.
Absolutely. And I think vibes-wise, you just have to tune into a Superteam monthly call for those vibes to boost you up. But also, I think, what I think it does is funding perhaps gets easier for a lot of these teams which are building. And we saw that last time in bull market where everyone has money, so you just get money thrown at you if you're a project founder. And hey, it's the best time to raise, absolutely, right? No two ways about it. And the most difficult time to raise has been the last 2 years. So mad respect for anyone who's been able to raise anything in the last 2 years, really. But I think the best thing that I see coming from this is, okay, it's great that the number's up, but also that means a lot more projects are going to be able to go into this full-time, hire the people that's necessary, get the funding that's necessary to build really cool things, and ultimately build really cool products that are going to change the world at the end of the day. That's what we want.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a tailwind for every builder in the space. I think there's also this kind of wealth effect that can happen. Whether it happens to the same degree it happened in ETH, we'll see. But if you get a bunch of holders of the token seeing a lot of price appreciation of that token, and suddenly they have wealth, they also deploy it into the dApps that are built on that chain, right? So famously, this is why there's so much value locked up in a lot of the ETH protocols like Aave or Uniswap or whatever else, is that there's a bunch of people who went from rags to riches over there. So when you see token price go up, it's not a coincidence. You're also seeing deposits on MarginFi are way up, right? Amount of volume going through Solend is way up. Jito's TVL has basically doubled in the last a few weeks. So it's great to see not only more dApps and builders being able to thrive, but also the existing ones seeing some more traction, some more usage.
Well, talking about dApps, we just had the Hyperdrive hackathon. Tell us about that. In terms of numbers, I think the most project submissions of any hackathon. But what's going on there? What's Hyperdrive been all about, and what's your take on it as well?
Yeah, so I'd say one of the things that Solana as an ecosystem does particularly well are these large-scale global hackathons. It's not only the biggest Solana hackathon, but I believe it's the biggest crypto hackathon. There's something like $600 million has been raised by these hackathon teams over the past few years. Yeah, it's massive. So whether it's Zeta or basically every named project you would have heard of if you're watching this probably started at a hackathon. So Hyperdrive was the latest one. And I think there was a few, maybe three interesting things that came out of it. So first, indeed, as you say, more submissions than ever before. I think it was like 905, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that.
Yeah, which is bananas in the depths of the bear market for something like that to happen. I will give a little shout out to all the super teams around the world who I think were super impactful on this.
Big impact. Bigger part of the reason that there's 900 plus submissions is because of the work that super teams putting in around the world.
We're pretty excited about it. I think something like 7 out of the top 10 countries have a super team, and in the little like submission form, something like half of the projects credited super team with like really helping them develop, which is awesome for us as well. These hackathons act as like a beacon in a stormy bear market of like, hey, come build real valuable things here, avoid just the speculation, and start to create some real value for people. So seeing numbers was great, but even better than that, somewhat uniquely, I think that the Solana hackathons are focused as business competitions, and that's one thing that I love to see about it. So you get certainly some interesting kind of like technical toys being built, but a lot of like serious people who are building serious businesses are kind of attracted and end up doing well, which is why something like $600 million of venture funding has gone into previous winners.
Huge numbers, right? And just as well, like I think we're seeing more tokens dropping. Like in the last few weeks, I think I've seen 2 token launches or maybe more. And I think in the coming week or so, there's another couple dropping. So I guess in terms of fundraising, like we've got the 600 plus milli coming in from these hackathons, and then, hey, number go up as well also helps. And as you said, the wealth effect and people recycling some of that back into the ecosystem. But I guess maybe some of these projects are going to look to tokenize at some stage as well. And ultimately, I think that helps grow the ecosystem. Any thoughts on that or what you're seeing from your point?
Yeah, I think there's like the FTX crash had a lot of problems for the Solana ecosystem. Maybe you heard. But one kind of really nice thing that it did was like flush
almost
out.
A year, by the way.
Almost a year.
When we go to Breakpoint next week, it's going to be basically 1 year.
Be dancing on that grave, I'll tell you that much. But it did kind of like flush out the bad tokenomics approach that you saw, like the Samcoin approach. So yeah, it's been really cool to see a lot of these protocols, especially like DeFi protocols, doing these points as a way to kind of like spur some more interest. And some people are into it because it's, just getting more people activated. Some people are against it because it's a little bit off chain. Either way, in my view, it is awesome to have more tokens in the ecosystem, adds more liquidity in, gives people more of an ownership stake in terms of the protocols and what they're building, helps create more evangelists. So yeah, I think we had the Cypher IDO just happened earlier today. Who knows when they'll launch a token, if they will, but MarginFi's got points going on. Jito's got points. Zeta's got points. I think Solan's got some new points, even though they have a token already. Meteora is coming out with a token. So yeah, a lot of fun things to look forward to. And hopefully it'll be perfectly timed to kind of trigger some of that bull market.
Absolutely. And shout out to the Hero Network as well. We've interviewed them before, and they have like 5 up their network and their protocol coming up, which is all Solana. So yeah, look, I think it's great. More the merrier. And the more ways that teams can build useful things and raise the money to build useful things and then reinvest that back into the community, all the better. But another thing we should mention next week, and one of the reasons for your miraculous recovery was we're going to Breakpoint. We're going to the Solana conference. Tell us a little bit about that. Any thoughts, what you're expecting there? I know that, there's probably going to be super teams from all around the world. In fact, I was at a super team hackathon demo day on the weekend. It was great. We had, I don't know, like 40 people pitching or some crazy number like that. But yeah, it was a really mad number, but hey, that's awesome. But there'll be lots of peeps from around the world there, most of the ecosystem. So what are you sort of looking out for, hoping to see? Yeah, any sort of exciting points?
Yeah, so I think there's maybe 3 things I'm most excited for. So one is indeed the kind of geographic distribution of Solana and seeing everyone kind of come together in one place.
Yes, please.
So like even in Hyperdrive, like the top country by submissions was China. Number 2 was Vietnam. Number 3 was India, right? So you're really seeing this kind of Asia presence expanding on Solana. And so having those people in the same room as people who are from America or from Western Europe, I think will be really fun. Second, I think there's bound to be some pretty crazy announcements, whether it's like tokens or new products dropping and whatever else. This is like when all the alpha comes out. And from talking to some folks over at the foundation, it seems as if like this breakpoint is really specifically designed for big announcements. They're kind of prioritizing that from the stage. So if you want to be the first to like hear about those, going and checking out those talks will make a lot of sense. Third, honestly, I'm excited. I hope this doesn't make me sound too shallow, but the parties are great at Breakpoint. It's like all my friends in one place. Like George, we don't get to see each other like that often. Maybe once or twice a year. And so everyone is coming all together. Superteam is hosting a national dress ball where everyone will be dressed up in their country's clothes. So that'll
fun.
be, yeah. Are you going to be wearing like a tracksuit from the UK? Are you
I
going to be
mean,
wearing?
I think I said to someone at Superteam, it was like, because I'm a nomad, right? I have no country. So what am I dressing as international waters? So maybe I'll dress as like a captain or something. Yeah.
I
I'm
think you
sure I
should
can
find out
find
what the
something.
national dress of Palau is, and you should dress up as
Yeah, true.
Palawian.
Yeah, a Palauan, perhaps.
Palawan,
Yeah.
yeah. Shout out to that documentary, by the way, which is great. But yeah, like the parties are so much fun. And then maybe a fourth thing I'll say is actually like overall, I feel like the content game on Solana is really starting to increase and get better. So like you guys put out that awesome miniature documentary. This podcast is great. Lightspeed's got a great podcast. We're putting out a documentary as well. And yeah, I'm already like starting to see some vlogs from like the Mad Lads folks and others. So I think it'll be great to kind of capture some of the energy that if you're not on Twitter all the time, it's hard to really like engage with for mass audiences. So creating like content on the back of that of not only announcements, but like of parties and of everything else that's happening. So that's what I'm excited about. How about you?
Very good. I mean, I was talking to the rest of the Step team about this today, actually, and they were like, oh, there's all these sick parties and these things, and there's like an app, and you can like, there's all these different things to sign up for. I don't know. Maybe I'm becoming an old man where I'm kind of like, man, I just want to go and have a drink of water and go get some dinner with people that I like talking to and just do that rather than, can you hear me over the doof doof music? Like, I don't know. So maybe I'm a bit old man mode, but I think I'll certainly be visiting a couple of the side meetups, like the Super Team one, of course. And yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think it brings the rest of the ecosystem together. Where should people go? Maybe as a recap after this, we can put in some B-roll of some of the pictures and videos that we're getting at the conference as well. So we'll put that after this video. But also, what are people looking forward to next in Super Team land? Is there anything on your horizon for coming into a new year, new places launching, or is it just sort of trying to get to the finish line at the end of the year and get the job done?
Man, I tell you, I am a glutton for punishment, and I think most Super Team people are as a result. So there's plenty of things still to happen. One major thing that I'm excited about is we're going to be open sourcing all of our playbooks in terms of like how to run an effective Super Team community.
Oh, that's
and what
sick.
it means for any project, whether you want to be a Super Team or you're an NFT project, you're a DApp, whatever else. So working pretty hard on just like collecting all the knowledge from across the different Super Team leads and putting that out in public. So that's very fun. We do indeed have a few new markets coming in. I would say if you speak some Portuguese, you might be pleasantly surprised in the coming weeks.
All right.
And then I think it's back to basics a little bit, man. Like, so we've always traditionally had this focus on community GDP and how many earnings people are having, getting people jobs.
I like
and
that
so on.
metric. It's great.
It's a fun one, right? And I think to your point earlier, like, hey, as more funding comes back into the ecosystem, as the price goes up, this wealth effect happens, we're hoping to see more earning opportunities that can onboard really top level talent. So it's going to be GDP for the next little while as we figure out how do we improve our grants programs, how do we improve our bounty programs, and how do we help people get more jobs as well.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Well, we'll put some links to all the cool things that Super Team are doing. Kash, it's a pleasure having you on as always. We're going to meet next week. Again, if anyone is looking for recaps or videos or live streams or anything like that, I think I heard the conference was being live streamed in some capacity. I don't know when this comes. Probably by the time this comes out, just check like Solana Breakpoint 2023 on YouTube, and I'm sure you'll see many really cool presentations, / also the Twitter. Check out Super Team on Twitter, and Step Finance will be posting stuff as well. So yeah, look, check it all out. All the links we'll put in the description below. And it's been great having you on, and we'll talk again soon.
Cheers, buddy. See you next week.
Cheers. Bye.